President Trump scoring a huge win with even more backing from law enforcement agencies. In deep blue New York, the Suffolk County Police Benevolent Association, a suburb of New York City, is now throwing its support behind the Republican candidate. For more, we're joined by the president of the Suffolk County PBA, Lou Civello. Lou, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, Lydia. Thank you for having me on.
So, Lou, your endorsement is huge, right? Suffolk County is the first police agency in New York State to formally endorse President Trump. What made you all decide to endorse him?
Yes, and we're very proud to do so. So this is a clear choice between defending the police and defunding the police. And that's not my words. That's Vice President Harris's words. She's publicly stated that she supports defunding the police. She erroneously believes that putting more police on the streets does not equal greater public safety, that it does not make the streets safer. And she has publicly said that she would rather look at the money being spent on police and police budgets and take that money and use it for other things. That would be disastrous, both for our country and for our families here in the United States. It's just, a wrong-headed way to go. In stark contrast, President Trump has been a vocal supporter of law enforcement. His first term, he helped us here on Long Island. We had the scourge of MS-13, a violent street gang, a gang that lured children to their deaths and hacked children up with machetes, a gang that after assassinating a child's mother, a 2-year-old's mother, put the gun to the 2-year-old's head and killed the 2-year-old, then took the toy that the 2-year-old had and gave it to his girlfriend's son. We had real resources. We had a real partner in the White House in order to break the death grip that gang had here in Long Island. And President Trump, while he was in office, traveled to Long Island, stood shoulder to shoulder with us, gave us the resources that we needed, the funding that we needed, and was integral in defeating that gang here on Long Island.
Yeah, I remember that all too well. And of course, the majority, if not all, of the MS-13 gang members came here as unaccompanied minors, right? And then we're seeing now the resurgence of another gang, a Venezuelan gang. And so President Trump, along with Congressman Peter King, had basically eradicated this gang activity that was happening on Long Island, which is a beautiful suburb of New York City. And they're trying to make a comeback. Now, as you mentioned, let's remind people exactly what Kamala Harris said regarding law enforcement so they don't think, oh, they're just making it up. She never said she wanted to defund the police. Yeah? Well, listen to this.
When you have many cities that have 1/3 of their entire city budget focused on policing, we know that is not the smart way and the best way or the right way to achieve safety. For too long, the status quo thinking has been you get more safety by putting more cops on the street. Well, that's wrong.
She is so wrong. She is so clueless. We have about 30 seconds left to you, sir. How do you envision this country would be? How much more chaos would there be under Kamala Harris?
I think you can look in any deep blue state like here in New York, where we released 42 cop killers in 7 years, where you can't get on a New York City subway without being worried about being robbed, murdered, or raped. I think that would be the destiny for our entire country should we elect Kamala Harris as president.
Lou Civello, thank you so much, sir, of the Suffolk County Police Benevolent Association. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.